Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast, where we interview everyone from James Beard award-winning chefs to local mixologists, winemakers, breweries, and so much more. We've got an awesome episode lined up for you today. But before we get into that, head to atasteofaz.com so you can subscribe to our quarterly magazine and email newsletter to find all of the best places to eat and drink around town. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now let's get into the episode.
All right, first guest of the day, one of my favorite people. This worked out great. You came over on purpose because you knew nobody was recording yet, and you wanted to be the first guest, and you nailed it.
Yeah, you know how much I love being on stage. I was like, oh my God, please give me the opportunity to stand.
I love it. You did great at our festival, being our MC for the demo.
Oh my God, that was so rad. Yeah. I'm so stoked that I got the opportunity to do that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And the fact that I got to introduce people that I truly am a fan of was just icing on the cake.
I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, Jennifer Caraway, welcome to the podcast. You're the first guest. This is not our festival. This is Devour, the legendary Devour.
Totally.
Right? You've been here before?
Every year.
Every year?
Yeah.
How long have they been doing this?
Okay, so I lied, not every year. So for the years that we've been in existence, I've been doing it, so I can't speak to much more than that.
Okay.
But I love being here. And apart from like the crowds that are here and getting to showcase our food and what we do, like it's kind of like a reunion. I get to come and hang out and see all my friends. It's pretty cool.
It is, yeah, because as we're looking at the list, and there's a ton of vendors here. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much that on that big sheet, they had to make the print like 6-point font. So I'm looking at them like, I know them. We're set up right by Ray Ray's. Rachel does a great job with Ray Ray's. So, and then Rachel from our team as well. You got to meet her today.
So stoked. I only knew her through email. So I'm stoked to put a face to it. It's much prettier than I had ever imagined.
Yeah. She's awesome. She is awesome. She's a badass. She is cool and she is beautiful.
Agreed.
Rachel. She's blushing behind the camera now. So Jennifer, you are with the Joy Bus. What exactly is the Joy Bus?
So the Joy Bus has been around for over 13 years now. Okay. And what we do is we prepare and deliver free chef-inspired meals to homebound cancer patients. Yes. We have a restaurant that's open to the public Thursday through Sunday from 7 to 2 with 100% of the proceeds funding our program. Okay.
And is that the place that's right off of the 51? Well, both of them are, but like the original, is the new place open now?
The new place, we have our fingers crossed final inspection on Wednesday the 26th.
So close.
Oh my God.
It's going to be incredible.
I'm so stoked and so just ready. I'm ready to be there, ready to expand the program across the valley and then hopefully after that across the state.
Yeah. I dig it. I mean, what you guys are able to do out of that small space, what would that be? The southeast corner of like 51 and Shea.
Totally.
And then the new place is going to be by Press.
Yep. 2 doors down.
Yeah. Nice.
And they're good humans too. So
yeah.
I like our hood. I like our community, our volunteers. Like this is not a one-woman show by any means. Yeah. It's taken a lot of help from the community. You guys have been huge to us.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Thank you. Like you've been very supportive of the mission and we can't do it without that support from the community. So thank you.
Well, it helps that you're pretty awesome. You're pretty awesome. Yeah. I talk about you a lot. I tell people about you, the amazing stuff that you're doing. And I'm like, and she was a bass player in a grunge band too.
It was punk. Okay.
Oh, it was
not
punk.
Grunge.
Okay. Very quick correction. Like not grunge. It was punk. Regardless.
I mean, I own a couple flannels, but no.
Yeah. My daughter, she's 13. She's really into She's into really cool stuff, really cool music. She has a CD player. Like she loves CDs,
nice.
Which is great because you get them for like $1 at Goodwill. But her style, she called her style Midwest emo. I'm like, what is Midwest emo? And she shows me. I'm like, that's grunge. Like flannels, like Kurt Cobain style. I'm like, that's grunge.
Totally.
But anyways, so if people want to get involved with Joy Bus, like what are some of the ways that people can get involved?
Well, they can get involved by volunteering. On our website, there's different links, like they could be here with us at our booth today. We're also always looking for restaurant community partners.
Okay.
So we have a different restaurant each month. They pick one menu on their item. This month it's Pitch.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
a pizza that we created, and any restaurant can be a part of that, and we'll promote them on our end, and then they donate a percentage from whatever item they pick on their menu that they want to donate to the charity throughout that month.
Ah, nice. Okay, so Pitch has something on their menu. Someone can go in for lunch and they get that pizza.
Yep.
And that's getting proceeds towards the Joy Boss.
100%.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be 100%. Whatever percent they want,
Yeah.
we're down with it. And then we do that cross promotion, so it works out great for both parties.
Yeah. I dig it. Well, you're set up here, right?
We
Like,
are.
yeah,
We're
what do
serving
you-
our handmade butter biscuits with chiltepines, and then a roasted serrano pimento cheese and a Newski's thick cut smoked ham.
Ooh,
It's super rad.
very nice. Well, I'm gonna have to come try that.
Please.
Yes. So, well, cool. Thanks for jumping on. I know you want to get around and taste some stuff before chaos ensues.
Gets on.
It's about to get started. So, Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on, and thanks for being incredible.
Right back at you.
Awesome. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
They're playing your song, my friend.
What's my song?
Whatever this is.
What? It's smooth jazz.
This
I'm gonna social me.
You're gonna social us?
I'm gonna
You know.
social us. Okay,
Nice.
Oh yeah,
See
club
that?
urban in here today, folks.
All right, we got D'Lo on the podcast.
Yeah.
On the D'Lo,
Yeah, what's up, brother?
your own podcast called
My-
On the D'Lo.
On the D'Lo.
Yeah.
Yes. Is this your first Devour?
Yes, this is our first Devour.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
They let you in for free, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, kind
I
of,
guess.
sorta.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna take all of your shit when you leave,
Yeah.
so we got to
exactly.
leave all that. It's fine.
What do you guys?
I mean-
You guys are selling your book here, right?
Selling our book, handing out magazines. Yeah, that's about it. Doing a podcast, live podcast. So.
And you just had a very successful. See, I'm going to interview you on
I
your
love
own
it.
show.
Bring it.
So you just had a very successful, let's just say, food event, Taste of AZ,
Yeah,
right?
we
And
did.
it sold out.
Sold out 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass. You're a huge supporter of ours at the festival.
Absolutely. I'm a supporter of you guys. You guys do an amazing job of just putting something together that I think is not overwhelming to people and is fun and is quick. And old people can go home early.
Yeah, for sure.
What time's that shit shut down?
5?
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm in bed at 7:30. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure. Well, you come early anyways. You get there early.
Yeah.
By the time the general public comes in, you're out.
I leave at like 8:00 in the
Yeah.
morning. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, D'Lo, thanks for jumping on, man. You're a great friend of mine. I love you as a person, but beyond that, of what all you do for this community is incredible, and what you're building. So your main business is bar and restaurant insurance.
Correct.
Very exciting world of insurance that you're part of.
Yeah.
But you bring this energy, you bring this personality to it that people just love working with you. But I think what's even cooler is healthy or healing hospitality.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that you're working on. Actually been working on for a few years now, right?
Yeah, 3 years. I mean, look, it's healing hospitality has nothing to do with me. It's just something that was a catalyst that I wanted to kind of like if I had the matches, you know what I'm saying? And I started the fire. The Billy Joel song, we didn't start that. Well, I did start the fire.
Yeah.
Now I need people to jump in the fire and be a part of it and make it their own. I want everybody to have a little bit of that smoke and just kind of create a synergy of people in hospitality that are looking for an outlet to de-stress, to maybe eat a little bit better, to maybe move a little bit better. This ain't about like going and just being like, I got to change everything in my life. I can never drink again, or I can never stay up late, or I can never, go to Disneyland. No, it's not what it's about. It's about having an outlet and having other humans around you in the same industry that will uplift you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's an industry that's notorious for destroying your health.
Being a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Like that. Like people wear a medal of honor when they go and they do detrimental things to their body after working, which is detrimental to your body enough.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't think I know a lot of people that partake in hospitality and in community that are not in it. They take very much big, advantage of a lot of these situations, just assuming like, oh, you're here to serve me. And that it's really a two-way street for me. It's like these people are here, they're working their ass off. They're here to give you good service and a good experience, but you got to give back the respect to them. And that's everything, obviously, from tipping, adequately when it's adequate service, but also just not being, how do I say, judgmental or demanding or anything like that. Understanding it's a two-way street so that they can have a better work environment. Because you wouldn't do that to your employees at your work if your bill at the, bank of, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it would be a good idea to start a podcast about, Luke will love hearing this because he always loves to hear my wacky story. I'm like, I got an idea. And he's like, how we execute that? Right. But I think it'd be cool to have a podcast about how to be a guest at a restaurant, at a bar. Like, how do you like you said, this is a two-way street, right? Like it's, you're coming for an experience. You're not coming to just like to demean somebody else and serve me. And, it's a weird thing.
One of the things that I enjoy doing is like, I like to, obviously ask if they haven't given it to you, the server's name, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you doing? Oh, you going to school? Is this, how long have you worked here? That sort of thing. Let them create a persona or a personality that gives them this sense of worth while they're working and doing something for you. And all that does is give you a better experience because they're going to want to be more part of, giving you everything that you need while you're there enjoying yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so with Healing Hospitality, some of the things you've done like a thing where we've done yoga, or we've done sound baths, where we did cold plunges.
Yeah.
The hike that we just did. I wasn't able to make that one. I rescheduled
we made art.
Remember,
we made art.
We made the art. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So you're doing these things that is open to the hospitality industry. Owners of places, their employees, like anybody within the hospitality industry, right? And it's just kind of a little unplug, and it's things that are that you can take and replicate those in your own life to just kind of find some health and some peace in yourself.
Yeah. And the ultimate goal with it, again, is for everybody that it resonates with, that wants to be a part of it, to take it over and make it their own and utilize the brand and all of that stuff to create more events and more things that I don't need to be at. Not that I don't want to, but there's only one of me, right? I'm only split so thin, and I can't do something that's so much bigger than me any justice by being a lead on it when I've got 4 other companies I'm trying to run. Not that I'm a big deal. It's just, though, that's how I work. I'm type A, and I'm like, I gotta go do these things. So that's the same with Healing Hospitality. So I needed to take on a life of its own with other lives out there. And I think what we've learned and what I'm going to start working on is having like a monthly event at the same place, same time. And I think it'll probably be a sound bath meditation. Yeah. Because that's the easiest thing. And I think the least barrier of resistance for people who just want to come. And it's like, dude, all you got to do is lay down for an hour. That's it. If you can't do that, then you know what? Whatever. Yeah. So we're going to start with something like that and then kind of build from there. So when we're not doing those monthly things, maybe there's a quarterly thing that's a little bit bigger, and we can do it at somebody's place and have a speaker come in and talk. And I want to be able to have links for free resources and for places for people to be able to go to talk for free and get help and do all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of the building phase. So anybody listening to this that wants to help or just be a part of it, again, this is not mine. This is yours if you want it. Yeah. So.
Absolutely. And so how do people keep tabs on that? Like, do you have a newsletter? I know you do the social media. Like, what's the best way?
So we're starting a newsletter. Okay. We've got a website and all that. And I think it's just really, at this point, it's just engaging with me personally, and then us all working together to kind of find out the best system or process to start getting the word out on any and everything, and streamlining all that, you know? Again, I know I've been doing this probably, I think going on 4 years now, actually, because the sound bath might have been 4 years ago towards the end of the year.
Wow.
And so, you know, it needs to be a lot bigger than it is.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I am very appreciative of you kind of bringing me into the fold. So if anybody's listening to this and they want to learn more, follow I Am the Delo on Instagram, or you can reach out to me directly, Eric at A Taste of AZ, if you want to get involved with this, if you want to come participate. So
yeah,
love you, man.
Come
appreciate
hang out
you.
and be as healthy as you want to be.
Yeah, I love it, dude. That was that Naughty by Nature song?
Was
Healthy
it?
as that? No, Naughty as I Want to Be. Yeah, okay,
Sounds
but
good.
Healthy as I Want to Be. I like it. We should do this on shirts.
Yeah,
Naughty by Nature, like font.
Healthy as I Want to Be. Dog. Cool.
Oh, nailed it.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, dude. Crowd's getting crazy, man. I think you brought it.
Dude, yeah, I did. I got a big van. They all fit in. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that shit, they keep coming out. It's like the McPoyle RV.
Yeah. Little clowns that pop out. Yeah.
Kale from Oso, my man. Well, you just opened up a whole nother can of worms for me. Kale from Oso, Kale from PV Wine and Pie.
Yeah.
There's a pie and wine or wine and pie?
Either one. Yeah,
Either way.
it just depends what you partake in first. Yeah.
Kale from Starving Artist.
Yeah, that's it. We got them all under one umbrella.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
man.
dude, thanks for jumping on the microphone.
Of course.
Oh, we got Luke. Look, he's been enjoying all the stuff. Should we pose? Or we just be cool? Just be cool?
He's like, gotcha.
Him and his old school camera.
That is sweet, though.
That is pretty cool, huh? Nice. All right, Luke, you're going to have to now edit that too.
Yeah.
Or unless he wants to keep it in there.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? We're
More
here.
of you on the camera.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah. That's all we need. More of that.
Yeah. So, dude, the general public just came in. You can tell.
Yes.
Like, this was like, I'm like, man, this is really tame.
No.
And then I was out there getting an aioli burger.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh my, like, what happened? Like,
Big difference from VIP, which is great. A lot of good conversation, all that. The floodgates come. It's like you dial up work mode, like real quick. And you can tell you start to have a line. People, all this. You don't have that in-depth conversation that you could have before.
For sure.
I mean, you still give them some,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit like, sorry, there's 15 people behind you kind of thing. But VIP is always the move, So
for everything.
everything.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Some people are like, when we were selling tickets, like my parents from Ohio, they're like, should I do VIP or what general admission? I'm like, VIP.
Always.
They're like, well, we can't go to the spring training because we gave tickets away for spring training from VIP. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Come for the early. Like,
Always.
No one gives a shit about the tickets.
Yeah, always, always, come in so you can kind of, you breathe a little bit, kind of find where it's at, and you can get it. Because to be honest, sometimes people run out of stuff, like you're doing like this crazy like Wagyu steak with this black truffle, whatever. It might be gone. They bring a bunch. They're like, oh, we're out of this, but we have this now. It's like, oh, I missed that. Like VIP got it. Show up.
Yes. Yeah. Well, dude, so Kale, what do you do? Like, who are you with and what do you do?
All right. So I'm with the umbrella of Oso. And that gives us a reach of a couple of different identities. We have about 10 different store concepts around Oso Brewery and Distillery. So we have multiple brew locations. We have a distillery location in North Scottsdale. We also have PV Pie and Wine, which is a little more like upscale, not just pizzas, but, you have like, a roast and short rib, all that stuff. And then we have Starving Artist is a newer concept for us. It's a speakeasy cocktail bar. It's not as quiet as some speakeasies, but the vibe is just, it's legit. Kind of has kind of a grunge kind of look to it. Yeah. You have like the Mona Lisa, but like spray painted some neon colors to kind of make it fun. So we definitely have a couple of different hats that we wear, but just to kind of evolve to what our community wants and dictates. It's always busy over there. It's not very big like a traditional Oso, but they're always packed. The service is great. The food's really good over at Starving Artist. And, so this is their first experience out here to do this. I was like, hey, you guys want to do this? Like, yeah. I don't think they really knew what they're getting into.
They're shitting right now.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I feel bad because they're like, oh, I got one guy. I'm like, I'll help.
Yeah.
They're like, no, he's got it. I go, I'll help. It's a long day.
Yeah.
Especially we're doing both days. So we'll be here today and tomorrow.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So, but I'm excited to see our brand. As much work as it was for me to help orchestrate, get everybody everything they need and set up, it's cool to be like, I have Oso and our beer in this, which the brand is there, people know that, so I'm less worried about that. PV Pie and Wine, they're doing ribs, just straight off, fall off the bone with a grill whisperer sauce that's legit. And I like my barbecue sauces. I don't, but that's this nice savory tang to it. People think barbecue tang is like a synonymous word, but it is actually really good, different than a lot of some other sauces that I've had. And then the cocktails that they made over there, Dylan is running the tent. Man, he's killing it over there. So it's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Always bringing your A game, man.
Well, you know what? if you are going to do something, you bring your A game, because why just kind of show up and, ho hum it, bring it, I mean,
For sure.
we're here. There's people who've never seen your brand before, people who are visiting. And when they have something, they're like, oh, that's cool. Like, we're getting our brand out, even as far as like when people are like, oh, what's Oso? It like kills me a little bit. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's Oso? But there are still those people out there. There are people who just moved here who have no idea what's going on around the valley. And this is an outlet for them to literally see, I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to check this out. You know? So this is a very, very cool experience. The vibe is great. The people are just happy, I mean, so it's hard to get around that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so,
well, I love it, man. Well, thanks for taking the time to jump on. Anything new, anything new coming up for you guys? I mean, you already have a shit ton of stuff going on. We do. What's on the horizon?
Let's see. We got, so this year, like beer wise, this is kind of exciting, or at least I think it's exciting because it needs to be recognized more. But every September we do a 988 suicide prevention or mental health beer. And every September we push that out because that's the month for it. Well, we decided, that doesn't take a break. Why should we?
Yeah.
So we're rolling it out all year round. So that's available. The resources, the content of it is also a part of it. And fortunately, I had a nice little connection with the Van Buren downtown, being a little local music venue. And they're very enthralled with having that and that message that it's on at all their bars in there. But not just that, like the QR code to kind of link you to resources is predominant in there too. So it's not just a beer brand.
Yeah.
You can drink any beer you want, but kind of beer with a purpose, I think, has legs of its own.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of getting rebranded to Better Days 988. We couldn't get rid of that number. We've been doing that initiative for about 7 years, I'd say.
Okay.
And the number changed from a 1-800 number to a short 3-digit memorable number, like a 911. And so having that 988 is important so that when people see it, they know exactly what that is and what it represents, So that's pretty cool for us to get that out there. We just remodeled our distillery, so that's really cool. If you've been up there before, go now, go again. It's super rad. They have these, it's hard to explain. There's trees that light up. What do you mean? I'm using my hands like I can show you. You can't really see. But they're all just like kind of like LED, all these trees, and they're lined up. So like the patio just has this really fresh, funky feel to it, which is really rad. So
that's always been a cool spot anyways. I always like that spot.
Yeah, our distillery is, it's kind of people see Oso and they just think beer. But, when we have our distillery, people who know it, it really kind of flies under the radar with like, your spirits are really good. It's like, well, yeah, we actually care and we try,
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this place is really awesome. It's like, yeah, we know. It just doesn't have the same care. People think, oh, so it's dog friendly, family friendly, all that.
Yeah.
And that one is too. It's just, oh, I didn't know you distilled here,
Yeah.
So that's what all that equipment is. It's not beer equipment. It's distilling equipment. So,
Yeah. Take it, man.
Yeah, man. But we're definitely, we like to be around, again, we have about 10 different locations, a couple in the airports. I don't know how much you count that, but
yeah,
within that, like we love to be able to say that each Oso really hyper focuses on the surrounding communities, like the little local high schools or, elementary schools around those ones really benefit from Osos. We put a lot into that, let alone with everything else we do charitably. But, I would say COVID really put supporting local like on the map, and we saw a big benefit where when we needed it, the local community helped us stay afloat, because that's not the same story for everybody.
Sure.
So, the local community really helped us push through to get to that other side. And, that just shows that the business model, or at least, you could line your pockets all you want, or you give it out to the community that helps, build you, and, rising tide floats all ships. And
absolutely.
I like to think that that's our case, that when we do open a new spot, it's always, oh my gosh, I can't wait. People are like, oh, you got to come up to Norterra, or you got to come out here. It's like, yeah, we can't just do that all the time.
Yeah.
But the fact that people want that in their backyard, it's like really warming to hear that it's a brand that people want to have closer to them, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. So,
Did you say Norterra on purpose? Because you remember, because that's where I live?
Yeah. Yes. No, I probably for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
People were like, you got to come up here. You got to come up here.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. And then, all right, we did Gilbert. And then, we did Surprise. I'm like, you guys, I'm telling you, Norterra would kill it. But again, it's Oso's not a small Dutch Brothers little box. You know, I mean, it's big. And, patio. There wasn't a whole lot of patio game before we started. We disguise 110 really well,
Yeah, yeah.
And you can only do that with misters, fans, shade as much as you can. But when it's beautiful day like today, there's nothing better than be outside.
100%, man.
So
as we're inside here.
Yeah, well,
let's wrap this up.
I think it's a podcast kind of
Yeah.
atmosphere, but
For sure.
we'll take it on the road,
Hell yeah. Well, shit. All right, buddy. Thanks for joining, man.
Dude, hell yeah.
Always
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it,
me.
my friend.
Love you
Yeah,
and
you too,
everything
man.
you do to support the local scene, man. You kill it for us. So,
Appreciate it, man.
thank you.
We do what we can. I like to disguise it as I like to eat and drink for a living, but created some good stuff out of that, I guess.
Yeah, well, you say it to them, but you also say it here, and so for other people to listen. So it's great.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, right on, man.
Perfect.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
beautifully. But we were talking like podcast targets this year, and you guys are on the list. So this will be just a little
Nice.
snippet of it.
Sure.
Just a little intro of who you guys are and all of that. But we'll be in contact later in the year to get you on for a full episode.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
Awesome,
I would love
man.
to. Love to keep talking about what we're doing, and it's really cool. Like environment and just the whole scene. I think being at Devour, especially, it's really cool to like just all these people I've seen for the last almost 10 years now, and then even before, I was working with Upward Projects and all that stuff, and just the evolution. Like it's just cool to see people grow.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, talking about Kale, where he was to where they are now, and like Oso and all those guys, and just all the brands. It's really, really cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matt from Iconic Cocktail.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, of course.
And thanks
Great
for
to be here.
bringing me a wonderful, tasty beverage.
Yeah.
What is this? What am I sipping on?
You're sipping on our lavender flower. So that cocktail is called the Lavender Haze. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. We call them 0 proofs. And that one is our lavender flower, a little bit of fresh lime juice, and some soda water.
And it's fantastic.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, dude, I was walking around a little bit. So we've got our table here. We're selling some books, giving away some magazines, doing some podcasts. And I'm like, I got to get out for a little bit.
Sure.
So I was walking around and I went over your area and I saw your tent. And I'm like, all right, I got to go check this out. There was a line. And as people, I heard 2 or 3 people coming and they were like, oh my God, that non-alcoholic one was the best one. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, nice work with these.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's great to hear. And it's definitely, non-alcoholic is really, really big right now. And people like really sort of being like mindful with what they're drinking.
Yeah.
Which is great because we don't have to adjust anything we're doing as far as a company. It's always been sort of one of our values is like, we're all natural. We're essentially farm to bottle. We're low sugar. So we're kind of primed to just like, oh, you're taking care of yourself. Well,
yeah.
Step right up. Let's help. Let's
love
help.
it.
Yeah, let's help.
Yeah. So explain a little bit. What is Iconic Cocktail?
Sure. So Iconic Cocktail started back in 2016.
Okay.
Basically the idea was, from my bartending, I had a lot of people that would ask me, like, while I was prepping, essentially, what are you making? Why are you doing that? How do I make this cocktail at home? And so I just entrepreneurs, we solve problems. And I was like, well, I see a problem.
Yeah.
People want to make cocktails, or an opportunity, I guess, to make cocktails at home. And I was like, well, how can I help do this? So originally it actually started as a catering idea. Like I wanted to do like cocktail catering.
Okay.
And that's where the name sort of Iconic came from was, let's say, you and your partner are like celebrating something or getting married or whatever. It's like, what makes you iconic? Let's build a menu around you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I just, we pivoted into the, let's just call it Iconic Cocktail. And then started, got into the Phoenix Flea was our first event. Got in basically with having a really great Instagram. And then like we got in and it was like, oh, they called our bluff. Now we have to make a bunch of products.
Wait, you weren't supposed to say yes that quick.
Exactly. Like we'll try, we'll see what happens. But so we got in, started selling. The reaction was great. And then I was like, well, let's just keep trying to do this. So farmers markets, and then, stepped away from my bartending gig to do this full time about 6 months in, which I do not recommend. Keep it as a side hustle whenever you're doing, as long as you can. But it's been almost 10 years now, which is crazy.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah, like a decade of doing something on your own from like, kind of your humble beginnings is really, really kind of cool. And, kind of like we were speaking earlier, just to be in this industry so long and to see the evolution of Phoenix culinary and then spirits and beer, and just to kind of be able to float around with everything. Like we fit everywhere. We can fit with everyone, which is really cool.
Yeah. I dig it. And to kind of go back a little bit, what I find is interesting is what you're doing 15 years ago, I didn't even know existed as a thing, right? I grew up in the Midwest, Northeast Ohio, like, oh, you want this drink? All right, here's a bottle of mix that you put in with your whiskey. Oh, you want that drink? Here's a bottle of mix, some not really good stuff.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you want a margarita, like there's the tequila, and then all the other stuff is in this lime green jug.
Right. It's like that color doesn't exist in nature, but it's what a margarita is, right?
Yeah.
No, same deal. I mean, I grew up in rural Missouri, and so my exposure was like to culinary was basically being in Denver, and then I moved to San Diego for a while, and I've been out here for about 14 years in Arizona. And yeah, it's I saw other cocktail mixers out in the world. Jack Rudy was a big influence of mine, the brand, and I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I can make syrups, I can make mixers. Like, why not? Why not me? And so, just gave it a shot. And I mean, we're starting to see a lot of movement with our on-premise. So like in restaurants and bars, and getting a lot more traction there. We introduced like a bulk program. So we can sell like by the gallon now so people can use it for their bar program.
Nice.
Had opportunity to work with Steadfast Diner. They recently opened. Had a great opportunity to work with Eric and Derek there with the beverage program. And that was great to be able to do that experience. And I'd like to just kind of plug and play that in other places that are like, we really want to have super easy, high quality cocktails that, it's kind of hard to find really talented bartenders. So if you can just find passionate people that don't necessarily have that bar experience,
sure,
we're a great fit for those sort of establishments.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Like it's quality product that's already created for you. And I dig it.
Try to make it simple, man.
Yeah.
Try to make it simple.
Well, in restaurants and bars and places like that, they appreciate that, right? Like the steps that you can eliminate out of their process. Right. They're like, hell yeah, bring it on. And then it's a quality product. And then it's a quality product that's local. And it's a quality product that's local, that's run by cool people. I mean, what else do you want?
I have my moments.
We all do, right? Yeah. We like to think we're cooler than we are, but
for sure. I mean, as a bartender, one of my most frustrating things was like coming in and like whoever may have prepped before me, I'm like, this honey syrup isn't right, or who made this? It doesn't look right. It doesn't taste right. So that's another box we can check. Is we're just consistent. We've been doing this for a long time. It's muscle memory at this point. I don't have a lot of staff turnover. I have 3 people in my company, and I mean, we're a small company, but we do some big things. It's really cool.
I dig it, man. Yeah. I dig it. And is this your first year at Devour?
No, we've been doing this since the first year it was at the Desert Botanical Garden.
Nice,
so I want to say it was 2018 or 2019 was the first year it was here. And we got in, I think, because there was so much more space. Old DB or at the old Devour, it was kind of tight.
A little tighter.
A little tighter.
Yeah.
So we got in. And so we've been doing this for a while. And we've evolved with it and sort of learned what to do. And man, I just you saw earlier, like, we cannot make cocktails fast enough.
Oh man, you guys were moving. We
cannot make cocktails fast enough, which is awesome. It's super flattering. It's great to hear people that like, people that only come to this event and it's the only place they see us. I mean, they do other things, but this is the only place they see us.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it's, they don't see us at the farmer's market, or we don't see us out in the wild anywhere else. But they'll come up and talk to me about cocktails that we made, 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm like, I'll trust you. I don't remember. Sure.
Yeah.
It's like, good for you for remembering, especially since it was a cocktail. But
well, because it was iconic.
Exactly.
Right? They remember that.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I dig it, man. Yeah. I dig it. So, what is the future look like? I mean, I know you said that you guys have progressed on to the bigger batches so being able to provide a whole bar program. Right. So what's the forecast look like for you guys?
Yeah. So that's kind of, the world's changing again with sort of that non-alcoholic element and people not drinking. So I think leaning into that a little bit, sort of reinventing ourselves with, I preach a lot of using tea as like a spirit replacement.
Okay.
So I see that in our future as really sort of coupling ourselves with either developing our own tea brand or partnering with a tea brand. I see that as a big opportunity for us. I really think this on-premise and really leaning into bars and restaurants is really, really big for us. Something that we've kind of shied away from and not really tried to solve that problem before. And then for me personally, I've taken on some consulting roles for bar programs, and I see that as being sort of a dual, being able to get my name attached to, or the iconic brand attached to some of these bars and restaurants as they're opening, and really sort of give us some some industry credit as opposed to just, finding us at like a farmer's market and like, oh, that's cute, they're making mixers. It's like, oh no, this great cocktail that you just had, that was us too. And so really just sort of really digging in on that regard. And then down the way, I would love to see, a canned product from us. I've wanted to do for a long time, sort of a canned carbonated something ready to go that you could sip as a non-alcoholic or use as a mixer. And so a canned line is something, and also getting away from glass. I love, we love all the recyclable stuff that we do, and we try to be sustainable as possible. Metal, paper, and glass is kind of like our fundamental packaging. But like down the road, I'd like to see us use aluminum and be able to do something like that to have like a ready to drink something.
I dig it, man. I'll be a customer.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll get you some samples as soon as we're ready.
All right, man. I'll give you my opinion. We'll tear you apart on the podcast.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, no, dude, thanks for joining. I really love what you guys are doing. I'm a fan personally, and it's cool to see because I started the beer podcast Tap.az back in 2016. So I feel, and we had met several years ago at Adventurous Stills, and so just to kind of see the hustle, man, like the hustle of like the farmers markets and things like that, of doing what you got to do to get the name out there. And I love seeing local brands like yourself start to catch fire and start to, hearing different people talk about, oh yeah, iconic cocktail. It's awesome, man. Yeah. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Yeah. It's funny. People say overnight success takes about 10 years or something like that.
For sure.
So I'm ready for that overnight success. And if I'm not, I'll figure it out.
Just keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, Matt, thanks, dude. I appreciate you coming over. I know you're busy, so I'm glad you worked in the time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad I was able to get over here, and I really appreciate the invite. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. All right,
cheers.
buddy. No problem. Well, so we have our next guest on the podcast. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Hi, my name is Lori Hashimoto. I'm the co-owner and chef at Hana Japanese Eatery in Uptown Phoenix.
Nice.
We're a family-owned and operated restaurant. We've been around for 18 years now.
Okay.
I am a 2022 James Beard semifinalist.
Nice.
For Best Chef Southwest.
Hell yeah.
I have family roots here in Arizona. I'm born and raised. We have 5 generations here. I'm a 3rd generation Japanese American. My father was in agriculture for the entire time he was working in Arizona.
Okay.
We had a farm here in the Central Phoenix area, as well as in South Phoenix. And that's what we did. We vegetable farmed.
Wow. Where and you said in the Central Phoenix area?
In Phoenix, in South Phoenix, we are actually located off of 24th Street in Southern.
Okay.
We had 24 acres there, or we had 14 acres there.
Yeah.
And then before they started actually building anything over there, like the Raven Golf Course, the Legacy Golf Course.
Yeah.
Those were places that everyone used to ride their dirt bikes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, during that area, I was able to watch that place grow. We used to actually also have land that is south of the 17, the Durango Curve.
Okay.
Which a gentleman by the name of who my grandfather and father used to call Old Man Hurley.
Okay.
That's his land.
Gotcha.
And that land's still slated in a family trust to be farmland for another 100 years. So when you go south of the Durango Curve, your vegetables will still be growing there for another 100 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It really is amazing.
And I feel like they're doing that more, right? They're trying to preserve that a little bit more.
They're trying to do that more.
Yeah.
As farms get pushed out further and further and further, you go further and further away from the things that help you grow your products.
Yeah. Good products, right?
Irrigation, those types of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we have incredible canal systems throughout our state. That's how we get water.
Yeah.
People don't really recognize other than just looking at a field of vegetables, that somehow maybe it just rains every day and they grow. But that's not the way it is in Arizona. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is. Yeah, I did not, like, I moved here from Ohio in 2007, and I didn't realize the significance of agriculture in this whole state.
Right.
You know, you look at Tucson, you look at Phoenix and the Verde Valley and
Yuma.
Yuma. It's Yuma. Exactly.
Huge growers down in Yuma.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One day I looked, I'm like, all right, where's the nicest, where's the best weather in the US? Yuma. Like it was, yeah. Like most days of sunshine and all that, and then come to find out that it's like they grow like so much of like the world's like lettuce and stuff, right?
Yes.
Like ridiculous amount.
You have no idea how much actually does come out of Yuma, Arizona. Yeah, it's amazing.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about the restaurant that you guys have. You said how long's it been there?
We've been there for 18 years.
Okay.
We're just a small family owned and operated restaurant. And what I mean by that is I think a lot of the things that I try to keep on the menu and the things that we like to create are what you would consider traditional Japanese items, but making them with product.
Okay.
Take, for instance, like I do something called a purple yam croquet. A potato croquet that you would have in Europe or France, right? Is potatoes, some onions, some vegetables, breaded, deep fried.
Yeah.
The Japanese make the same thing.
Okay.
But instead of doing it like what we would normally do with a regular potato, I want to do it with an organic purple yam from Bob McClendon.
Yeah.
Something that is grown here, something that we can take and make something taste as it should. There's no confusion there.
Sure.
I'm not fusing anything together.
Yeah.
We're just making it beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we want to do. I bring in a handful of fish from all over the world. We're very small. I have a very loyal, dedicated group of clientele who come in, and don't get me wrong, I'd love to believe that that I am responsible for everything, but I'm not.
Yeah.
They come in, they eat the fish, they make sure that is coming in and out. I couldn't be more grateful to the people who have supported me for the last 18 years.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, because without them, like, you can have all the best ideas and all the best creations, but nobody's coming.
Right.
It's like,
but at the same time too, then you have people who look at you and say, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just decided that I wanted to do something a little fun. It didn't work out very well, did it? But at the same time, that's a good thing.
For sure.
It keeps you focused on what you want to do. You can always dream.
Yeah.
But when you're cooking someone else's food, don't mess with it. Keep your head out of the clouds. You know what I mean? They like what they like.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I don't have a necessarily rotating menu. I just kind of keep on adding things to the menu. It just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But that's a part of the hominess.
Sure.
It's a part of coming in and feeling like you're actually family.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be something that someone does just out of the point of hospitality to remember your name.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things probably about my customers that other restaurant owners are like, yeah, I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
sure.
It's definitely family.
Yeah.
It's family.
I dig
And
it.
coming out to Devour gives me the opportunity to get out of the kitchen and come out and see what all the other chefs are doing and just feel the energy, right?
Yeah.
It helps you get inspired again.
Yep.
Looking at people, what people are using, what people are doing, the techniques that they have. How hard are they pushing themselves?
Yeah.
It's a reminder every year to get out and get local and find out what's going on in the valley.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Well, and I you're a judge, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anything that has stood out to you? Any places or dishes that you've come across today?
The funny thing is there was something that we had talked about, and it was the one year that we had all come and everybody was using pork belly.
Okay.
And that was the thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
How many applications can you use in pork belly? You can have a pork belly taco. You can have, some kind of pulled pork sandwich, you name it.
Yeah.
But today there was a place that brought the pork belly. Technique, execution was excellent. And everything that they had on there really highlighted what they were doing.
Yeah.
And overall did a great job,
Nice.
with simple ingredients. And
Sure.
that's where it comes from,
Yeah.
right? The care and love of looking at something that everyone thinks is very basic and very typical and lifting that up into something that you think about twice and say, was that really that? that was good.
Yeah.
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 I dig it. So how do you even go about judging something like this, right? Because you have to try everything, right?
You know, it was really, really, really an experience today, an experience of self-reflection. I'm always used to being on the other side of the table.
Okay.
Always 1,000%.
Yeah.
And to be able to sit down with, chefs like Chef Gross and Janos and Howard and Bahar, to be able to get and listen to what everyone has to say about particular things.
Yeah.
I know what I would be critiquing myself on, and beating myself over, which is very different from what other people do.
Sure.
So it's interesting to see how they judge and what they would judge on, and understanding it's not just about the execution and the food that's put out. It really is about everything that you bring here.
Yeah.
Are you the criteria, heritage grains, things from Arizona? Are you able to use those and convert those into things that are going to make people question, wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
And I've never had that before. So it's nice to have someone do a simple ingredient really well, but it's nice to be out here and watch people taking very difficult ingredients and push themselves with it.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Because you could be like, all right, this is what I know. I can execute this flawlessly every time.
Right.
It's the safe choice. Or you can
take a chance.
Take a chance and do
take
something.
a chance.
Yeah.
And then, and that's the thing. Taking a chance, I think, is what puts everybody, especially when you're being judged, right?
Yeah.
You're not sure.
Sure.
And if you don't go in with all of the preparation you need and all of the confidence you need, typically that's going to throw up some red flags as far as what you're bringing,
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was a really great day. Everybody was really solid. Everybody really enjoyed what they were making. You could tell that when they would come and express that to you, the passion in their voice, being excited, and it was fun to have someone give an explanation about something and say, hey, and we really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's what coming out here is all about.
For sure. I dig it. You nailed it. Nice job. Thank you so much for jumping on the mic.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, we got our next guest here. The legendary Howard. You're a legend.
I'm not sure my wife would buy that, but I'll go tell her as soon as I go home.
She was close. I saw her somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Howard, Seftel, right?
Seftel.
Howard Seftel. Who are you and what do you do?
Right now I'm a nobody, which is really good.
Okay.
But for about 25 years, I was the restaurant critic in town.
Okay.
The last 15 at the Arizona Republic. And in those wonderful days when newspapers were important, and to be a critic, you needed more than an internet connection.
Yeah, right.
We had close to 1 million readers.
Okay.
Would read the paper every single day.
Delivered to their door, like the paper boy.
Yeah. 1 million readers per day.
Wow.
So we had quite a lot of influence. And I think the difference between now and then, and forgive me if I sound like Grandpa Simpson here, but back in the day, you needed more than a Wi-Fi code to be a restaurant critic at a newspaper.
Yeah.
You had to have some expertise.
Sure.
So now you could always disagree with the movie critic, but the movie critic knew movies.
Okay.
You could disagree with the theater critic, but the theater critic knew theater. And the book critic and the opera critic and the dance critic, and the same thing for the restaurant critic.
Yeah.
You didn't have to agree with me, but let's put it this way. I never sent my gazpacho back because it was cold.
Okay. Because you knew it was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's interesting, right? Because, we live now in a time where everybody's a critic, right? And for me, I think that some people, you've got the Yelpers of the world, right? Where critique is negative. It's all negative.
That's click driven.
Yeah.
Let me say, and again, I don't want to sound like some grumpy old guy. Everybody has an opinion.
Yep.
and everybody is entitled to his or her opinion.
Yeah.
Granted, not everybody has an informed opinion.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
don't want to consult me if you need dental work.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, there goes my second question.
Yeah,
Howard.
you're right. So cancel your appointment. So it's very hard these days to separate what is reliable, trustworthy, based on expertise,
Yeah.
and what is just noise.
Sure.
It's much harder today to do that.
Yeah. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. Like, how did you kind of build up your knowledge base
Well,
and
to
your
get hired,
expertise? Yeah.
I brought two things to the table. One, I had lived all over the world,
Okay.
spoke a couple of languages, so I knew what bouillabaisse was supposed to taste like.
Okay.
I knew what risotto was supposed to. So in other words, I grew up in New York, lived in San Francisco, lived in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. So I knew about food
Yeah.
and loved food. But mostly the critic's job is to write. I mean, anybody can say, my French fries were crispy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
you don't need a PhD to do that.
Yeah.
The trick is, or the goal was, to write a column that people would read from start to end,
Yeah.
even if they weren't going to go to that restaurant. So it was mostly a writing job. And I had done some published writing, and somehow I got my start. There's an alternative newspaper here called the Phoenix New Times.
Yeah.
And one day, 35 years ago, I was looking at a copy and it said restaurant critic wanted. And I know this is going to sound unbelievable in 2025. I wrote a sample review, put it in an envelope, found the address of the newspaper, put 2 stamps on it, and sent it off. And to my utter astonishment, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep with
You just-
anybody.
you just sent it to
just
Are
mailed.
you sure, Howard?
Absolutely. I just mailed it off, and they hired me.
Yeah.
Now, today, that sounds absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's even gonna open that envelope.
But exactly.
Yeah.
But 35 years ago, as food was taking off, Food Network,
Yeah.
cookbooks, people becoming famous, and here in Phoenix, they were just getting started.
Yeah.
So I came along, very fortunately for me, at just the right moment.
Yeah. I dig it. And you had quite a career at it as well. I mean, you were the guy.
My daughter, I paid for my daughter's weddings and
Yeah.
college.
Nice.
And we're journalists. But it was, people think it's glamorous. Trust me, eating out 5 and 6 nights a week for 25 years is not glamorous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and why? I mean, I know I have my reasons for like what we do, but for you, like, why is that not glamorous?
Well, first of all, and by intention, I was very, very, I watched my anonymity like I was a mafia snitch.
Okay.
You know, I could have been in the witness protection program.
Especially here in Arizona too.
Yeah, because anybody who thinks that a restaurant reviewer or influencer or Yelper who the restaurant knows is going to get the same kind of service that you get is living in fantasy land.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just to fulfill my journalistic duties,
Yep.
I had to be Joe Schmo sitting in the restaurant.
Having the same experience as
Having
everybody
me,
else.
whether
Yeah.
good or, putting me next to the toilet
Yeah.
or, a waiter. It wasn't his first day. It was his first hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
totally different experience from today.
For sure. Well, yeah, and it's all become convoluted in ways, right?
I can't begin to describe how different the world is today
Yeah.
from what it was then.
Yeah.
Everybody has an internet connection. Everybody, listens to somebody else. I once wrote, and you'll get some angry mail about this. Send it to Eric.
Mail me at.
Yeah. I once wrote that Yelp wasn't worth the paper it wasn't written on.
That's
And you should have seen the letters I got.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, would you walk up to somebody in the street and say, tell me where's a good restaurant, and believe them?
Right.
They're total strangers.
Yeah.
Most of whom are looking for clicks.
For sure. Yep.
So I apologize to your audience. I'm not as old and grumpy as I sound.
He's not. Trust me, he's not. But no, Howard, this is great. Like this is. I mean, this is kind of the world that we live in now. The world of influencers and Yelpers, and everybody has an opinion, and so many negative opinions. And I think what the food critic brings to the table is that educated, that experience, like that, and a full encompassing view.
Right. You don't have to agree.
Yeah.
But at least acknowledge that the person's point of view is founded on something more than being the brother-in-law of the restaurant owner.
For sure. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Well, Howard, I think we're going to get Giannis on here in a minute.
Okay.
Very excited to talk with him. I was very excited to talk with you, so thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
To do it. So before we go, though, what you're judging the food today? Anything that you don't have to name specific names or anything? I know there's secrecy to that, but anything really stand out to you?
It's almost everybody. You could see the effort.
Yeah.
And, this audience, the people here, everybody here is a potential customer of every restaurant. This is all wheat and no chaff.
Yeah.
When you're paying $100 or $200 for a ticket, you're just not walking in off the street.
Yeah.
Everyone here is interested in food. So the chefs are trying to, how in television, they say maybe half the audience is for your ad.
Sure.
Well, here it's 100%.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So they're most of them are bringing their A game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Howard, thanks for taking the time.
Pleasure.
It was a really great meeting you. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I'm taking a nap now.
Now you're getting me there.
I wish I would have hit record. Let's redo that again. I asked Janos if he was excited for this, and he just laughed right at me. No, thanks for taking the time to jump on the microphone.
You're the biggest name in radio, man.
I like to think so. Like my kids tell me that.
Are you sure that's what they tell you?
Oh, no.
That's what they told me.
No. Well, Janos, thanks for jumping on the microphone.
Absolutely.
You're a legend here in Arizona Food and Beverage. And it's an honor to have you with our headphones on and with our microphone. So,
yeah, I know that legend is another word for old. So you're right about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes. So, who are you and what do you do?
I thought I'm legendary. Didn't you know that? That's all I do.
That's all I heard.
That's all I have to do.
I didn't hear why.
There's no reason.
just it. Period.
No, so I've been in Arizona now started my restaurants in Arizona over 40 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And really from that beginning, I began to appreciate that there was a lot here, way more here before me than there is when I got here.
Okay.
And that to start taking a deep dive into what was our gastronomic heritage, what were the foods that had been grown here for 5,000 years, what was that history, who were the people that grew them, and how ingenious they were, how both the people who grew the food and the actual ingredients were the survivors of 5,000 years of parched, arid, inhospitable desert growing.
Yeah.
And I see my job is really just being a continuation on a continuum, and to take those ingredients and then bring them into modernity, think about different ways that they can be used, taking ancient things and bringing them into the present. And those are ingredients that are going to be necessary for the future, because those are the arid adapted crops. With the world getting drier and hotter and more and more land is going to be difficult to grow on.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be really needing to share those crops around the world. And as a chef, I get the great joy and privilege of how to make this stuff taste great.
Yeah.
That's my job. And so that's what I do. And that's the fun stuff.
Yeah. I love that. So the very first thing I did in media in Arizona, I had a beer podcast, and I just would travel around to the different breweries and hang out and have them tell the story. But then I met a chef named Tamara Stanger, and she opened my eyes to the whole world of food. Because I always thought like food as like, fine dining, French restaurants, all this stuff. And I wasn't really interested in that. And she's like, hey, you could eat those cholla buds. You could have, wolfberries and all of these things. I'm like, like this stuff's around us. She's like, it's incredible, like what you can do with mesquite pods and what you can do with, cactus pads, and it really
that is our heritage. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it actually took me a little while because I didn't, I'm not from here. I'm from California. Got here through a circuitous route and get here and realize this is a pretty cool place. I want to live here.
Yeah.
And so I started advertising for gardeners before staff, only because I didn't think anything could really grow here. I needed to grow the things I wanted to work with, not the things that always had grown here, but what were the things that I wanted to put on my menus in the 1980s.
Yeah.
And slowly that dawning of recognition comes that, oh my God, as that we do have this 5,000 years history. Yeah. Those are the ingredients that I want to be working with.
Yeah.
Those cholla buds, those wolfberries, those mesquite pods, all of those things.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It makes you, I don't know, for me, I moved here from Ohio, so I feel tough that I'm like, yeah, we can survive in the desert,
That's right.
And everything's got like toughness to it, like some heart and soul, right? Like everybody's fighting, everything is fighting, and it's we've got resilience in us.
This is the Survivor Series right here.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then you can make stuff into incredible food that people are like, holy shit, like what is this? Is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's it's really fun to be it's because it's sort of shocking when you can take these foods of humble origins and really start to elevate them to world-class cuisine. But then when you think about that, what the hell are truffles? Truffles are things that pigs and dogs have to sniff out that come out of the ground that nobody cultivates. They're just stuff somebody found and thought they were great, right?
Yeah.
200 years ago, they fed lobster to prisoners.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a matter of education as well.
Yeah.
That if you use these ingredients properly with proper respect, they really are great.
Yeah.
If you just toss them as a throwaway, probably should throw them away.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool too that, and this is all kind of expanded from Tamara. Have you ever met Tamara?
No, I don't know her.
So Tamara Stanger, she was a chef at a brewery, and then she opened a place called Cotton and Copper. She's always done like forage type of. She's done a lot of foraging, a lot of indigenous ingredients. She's actually at Shift in Flagstaff now. But she taught me so much about like indigenous food and indigenous ingredients, indigenous plants. And I mean, everything from like, you see a palm tree, like, oh, that looks beautiful. It's like, that shouldn't be here.
That's right. That's not native.
Yeah. So to see this focus on, beyond even just food of the, indigenous plants and trees to bring back like the birds and the insects that are, it's interesting because this seemed a place that everybody wanted to bring where they were from and replicate it here.
Yes.
And now everybody's saying, no, this is special what we have here.
Strip it back down.
Yeah. Get that shit out of here. Yeah. Sorry if I'm swearing. You can swear on the podcast if you want to.
I won't refrain.
if the moment comes, yeah. So Giannis, so what are you? Do you currently have a restaurant now? Are you like what's your situation at the moment?
I failed retirement.
Failed?
I failed.
Okay.
I failed retirement and realized that over 50 years of cooking in restaurants, most of them way over most of them in my own restaurants, that it was still two things. I didn't have any hobbies.
Okay. Yeah.
That I loved what I did more than ever, and I wanted to distill that down to its most ideal form, which takes place at Studio Llanos in Tucson, studiollanos.com,
okay,
where I have one room my kitchen and 12 seats in the same room. You don't take onesies and Tuesdays. You book the whole room.
Okay.
And really, I do 2 different types of menus. They change throughout the year. One is heritage food menu, which is really my current and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
But really, I got my start with French food and working in France and coming to the States. And so I also do a menu of the old favorites from my restaurants of sort of the French influenced foods.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you kind of hit both avenues because there's an audience for both of those, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that the audience for the like indigenous ingredients has really grown over the last? So do you think that that's something that's growing?
Very much so. So in 2015, we received from UNESCO the designation as a World City of Gastronomy.
Yeah.
The first city in the United States. Now they're the only one of only 2.
Yeah.
San Antonio is now a sister city of gastronomy. That's something Tucson is extremely proud of, and rightfully so. And it's not because of the restaurants. It's because of that 5,000 year of gastronomic history. So with that comes a lot of recognition from the locals and a lot of pride from locals about, oh my God, this is such a great thing. This is who we are.
Yeah.
Let's taste those flavors.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well, it helps when you have somebody that knows what the heck they're doing, making the stuff. If I want to go grab stuff out of my yard, try to make it for my kids, they'd be like, "What the hell are you doing, Dad?"
Dad, take us to Tucson, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Studio Giannis. Come on, let's go. Right. No, I think that's great. And with all this work too, you won a James Beard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 2000.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Before you were born.
Pretty close. Close. So what was that? How did that all kind of culminate? I mean, what were you doing at the time that kind of earned you
I was
that?
doing what I do now. I mean, the difference, working in my restaurants, keeping my head down, doing my work.
Yeah.
That was it. You don't lobby for it. You don't do anything. You know it exists. You say, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Got nominated several times. That was great. The more times you nominate, the more times you got to go to New York.
Yeah.
and so to me, it wasn't a life changer or a game changer or something I'm proud of for that recognition.
Yeah.
I appreciate that recognition. And it's a recognition of really my life's work. And so it's a cool thing. People like you ask me about it, and it's great,
Yeah.
So
it's cool to say, I want to James Beard.
it's a great thing,
yeah. But just making an assumption here, I assume that you were like, great, this is awesome. Head back down, right back to work, right?
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely. I mean, a chef is a chef. A chef. That's you work.
Yeah.
That's the job, and that's what I learned in my last year of retirement was that's what I love.
Yeah.
I want to get my hands dirty.
Yeah.
I want to not only cook the food, I want to wash the dishes.
Yeah.
I want to make great food. I don't want anybody between me and my guests. I have 0 employees.
Yeah.
I have people that help me the night of an event. I write them a check at the end of the night. And not to mean I don't care about them. I love them. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
But during the rest of the week, I don't want anybody there cooking with me.
Yeah.
I'll be cooking that all myself. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So a chef's always a chef.
Yeah. I dig it, man. I can see like to me, when you find the thing that, and this is kind of what we're working towards, we're finding different avenues. I'm finding my role within our company of but I feel when you find that thing, like that's just who you are. The process is what you're not working for an end goal. You're not doing, I'm doing this until I get to this point. No, you just you like it. And
your job, when you find your voice, they can't shut you up.
That's right. I'm the one with the record button here.
That's right.
Well, Janos, thanks, man. Thank you so
welcome.
much. I've been wanting to meet you, so I'm very glad that Local First was able to set this up. Thank you.
Big thanks to Kimber.
Kimber is awesome.
Absolutely.
She's around here somewhere.
Yep.
No, thank you. I would love to come down and sit down at your place. We could do a podcast at the
You
studio.
are always welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll be in touch, Janos.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This was fucking great.
Yeah. There it is. All right, man. We I think we got Tim. Tim's creeping around here, isn't he?
He is.
He's keeping an eye on
He's right
stuff.
over there.
Yeah.
He's making sure I'm behaving.
I love it, man. So we're here, day 2 of Devour. You're the first guest, Daniel, so thanks for jumping on the mic, man.
Of course, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, awesome, dude. So, I mean, it's about to get intense here, right?
It is, yeah. We're getting set up, ready to roll.
Nice. Were you guys here yesterday?
We were not here yesterday. This is our first day.
Okay.
So first and only day.
Nice. Have you, well, Renata's Hearth is a pretty new place, right?
Yeah, it's 3 years. It's been there for 3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
Okay. Was there a remodel or something recently?
Yeah, it used to be called Wright's Restaurant. And then after COVID and the hotel closed, everything was, well, not everything, but that particular restaurant was totally rebranded as Renata's Hearth. So it's Latin-inspired restaurant. We feature smoked brisket, Wagyu smoked brisket that we smoke every day. So smokehouse, like Latin-inspired smokehouse kind of.
Interesting. I like that. Like, I don't think you don't see that a lot at resorts, like high-end resorts, like an actual smokehouse.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I've worked in a lot of hotels all over the place, and this is the first one that's really has a proper smoker setup. So,
okay. Like what? Is it wood? Is it?
So we use pecan and mesquite wood. We have a offset smoker. Don't remember exactly the size, but our max load is like 5 full briskets.
Okay.
So it's a Camelback smoker, so it's made here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, man. So Daniel Weber, I was gonna have you introduce yourself, but then I saw your name right on your shirt, so it's an easy intro. I can do the intro for you. So how long have you been with Renata's Hearth?
A little over a year and a half. So I moved here in May of 23.
Okay, from where?
From Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
I've kind of been all over the place. That was just the most recent stop. So.
Yeah. Nice. How do you like it here so far?
I love it. It's great. Family loves it. It's great. I mean, it's definitely hot, but aside from the weather we have right now and just, the mountains and all that stuff, Phoenix is great for sure.
It's a beautiful
Some
place.
great food, some really great chefs here.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Definitely enjoying Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I mean, the whole state is incredible. I mean, you go up to Flagstaff, there's great food up north, and Sedona and Cottonwood and down in Tucson. Have you got to travel around much since you've been here?
Not too much.
Yeah.
I've gone up into like Superstition up by Payson a few times.
Yeah.
Was camping with my son, and it was great. We enjoyed it. It was really awesome.
It's kind of one of the cool things about Arizona is you have this big metropolitan area, but then less than 2 hours away, you can get way the hell out there. Like you can.
Oh yeah, we were. Yeah. No cell service out there in the middle of the sticks.
Yeah.
Just on a little lake. It was amazing. Nice to get away from the heat, plus just out of the city for a little while.
For sure. So what do you guys bring today? Like what's on the agenda for?
So we are doing one of our newer menu additions, which is a snow crab claw. We do an emulsified jalapeno brown butter sauce with sweet and sour Marcona almonds and a little bit of chili oil.
Nice.
So we're just doing individuals of that all day today. So
excellent. So were you here yesterday just as a guest or anything, or this is your first?
Nope, this is my first day totally just this year.
Never
here,
had you been previous years?
Like we did last year.
Okay.
So this is our second year. So
nice.
It's good to be back. It was a lot of fun last year.
Yeah, it's a cool crowd. I mean, it's a really cool like layout too. Like you actually get to explore like the gardens, and yesterday I was walking around and I'm like, I hear people, like I can't see them, through the plants and everything. So you just gotta, it's an adventure. So
I mean, last year I got lost for a little bit. This place is a lot bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So which is great. It gives plenty of space to have all these great people here. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So how long have you been chefing?
16, 17 years.
Okay.
I believe. So went to culinary school in St. Louis. Worked in a Italian chain restaurant. This was my first gig.
Yeah.
And then just kind of went around all over the place. I got an internship working at Disney in Florida.
Okay.
Afterwards, so I ended up staying there. Was in Orlando for quite a while, and then bounced around the East Coast a little bit.
Yeah.
And then hit Omaha and came back here. So mostly hotels. Worked in one country club and a couple independent restaurants. So,
yeah.
But it's all great, all good times.
Yeah, learning different things along the way and figuring stuff out.
So much different stuff. So many great chefs that I got to work with and be part of. Special dinners and James Beard dinners that were hosted by hotels that I worked at in the past.
Yeah.
So it's been really awesome.
Nice, man.
A lot of work for sure.
And this is you're in it. Like this is your life. Like this is the path that you're on, and you love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been. I've had a lot of different kind of positions, as kind of overseeing more than one outlet. So this is really my first position where I've just been able to be in one restaurant, focus on one restaurant, and just do one restaurant. So
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. We've been going through a lot of growing pains lately with team building and
sure.
But all the work that we put in, especially my whole team has been working 6 days a week since like Christmas. So we're finally getting to a place now where we're better staffed and able to start putting put our foot forward and really kind of push and do more stuff, run more features in the restaurant, work on a new menu change coming up here. Kind of TBD on the date on that one.
Yeah.
But it's been great. Just kind of a culmination of everything I've learned along the way. Just kind of all compiling here in Phoenix. So.
Love it, man. Well, welcome. I mean, I'm not a native. I've been here since 2007, but I feel like I'm part of the community now. Yeah. So it's great, man. It's I mean, everything from A to Z, from the farms and the producers of spirits and wine and beef and all of this stuff, to all the way up to the level of these resorts that are just creating this world-class experiences. It's a pretty badass state for food and beverage. So
it really is.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Phoenix before coming here. Was not really sure if Arizona was the place to be. I did a tasting in Tucson and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason, and we wound up here, and it's been great. No looking back for sure. Definitely love being in Phoenix.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. So anything new upcoming that you want to kind of to throw out about Renata's Hearth coming up?
We have our next pairing dinner is going to be on Cinco de Mayo. So we've got a great menu.
Nice.
Full Mexican menu. So my sous chef Manny helped me out with that, as well as my other sous chef Alonia. We put that together, and it's been this is the last of a series called Fire and Ice, and we did 4 other dinners. So the next one will be Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're looking at doing a couple more dinners over the summertime, and then start another series in the fall. So just working out all the details for all that stuff as of right now.
Love it, man. I love it. So I assume there's probably social media and everything for Renata's Hearth that you can follow and keep up to date of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, of course. Renata's Hearth on Instagram, just Renata's Hearth. And then there's the Arizona Biltmore as well, which covers, the whole property as well as the restaurants, all the different outlets as well. So
I dig it, man. I dig it. Well, Daniel, thanks for joining, man.
Of course. My pleasure.
People are starting to filter in, so I'm sure you got to man the table and get cranking. Yeah. But I appreciate you taking the time, dude.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. All right, my man Flip.
What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you, pal.
This is fun.
This is cool, man. We got a DJ right over there, so it's a little loud for podcast recording, but I mean, it's Devour.
It's fine.
Why would it be lame, right?
Yeah, no. How many things can you put in one botanical garden? Let's do it.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, shit. Flip from Freach Street.
Yes.
Best French fries on the planet.
Pretty close.
Like,
yeah.
Who's better?
There. No.
Who's better?
Best fries. Yeah. Fair play.
Dude, I had yesterday, Steadfast did the shakes with the fries.
Shakes with the fries? Yeah.
That was incredible, man.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't know about that. And then I tried them like, oh, shit.
Yeah. When Derek texted me, he was like, hey, can I borrow the fryer to do this? I was like, dude, like my favorite thing as a kid is a Frosty and a fry. Like, if you're going to try to do something along those lines, like game on. Like I'll give you the fryer, dip those puppies away. Like, yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So were you guys here yesterday or just today?
No, just today.
Okay.
So I'm a Sunday devourer. I don't know why. I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
So like this is like year 7 we've done devour.
Dang, nice,
but
man.
Always Sunday. I've it's a Sunday. This is the devour day for us.
Why? Like just
I don't know.
superstitious?
I did it the first year on Sunday and it went really well.
Yeah.
Just never gonna fucking go to Saturday.
Hey, hell yeah!
Sunday works, so don't change it. Yeah.
So are all how does it work? Like, can you elect to be a 2-day vendor or?
There's like a giant application and a bunch of buttons you can click. So like, I think you can do Saturday, do
Okay.
a Sunday, do a both. I'm like, just Sunday.
Yeah.
And I usually don't even like fill out half the application. I was like, yes, we're in. Count me in for Sunday. And then like give them the minimum amount of information that I need.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then it's in. And they're
Then
like,
it's
great,
game
we'll see
on.
you next year. So.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. No, this is cool. This is our first time.
Really?
Yeah. I've never been to Devour before.
Oh.
I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
This is incredible, man. I mean, it's a beautiful space.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's so like the first year we did it was at the art museum.
Okay.
And that was really cool, but it was super tight. And
Yeah.
it's like you can't even move around. This really like it feels Arizona-y. You
It
know,
does.
like
Yeah.
you see all the pretty parts of Arizona here. You know,
Yeah.
you got mountains, you got the cute trees, you got birds chirping.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a cool vibe to be at the botanical garden doing it.
For sure. And it's like desert landscape. I mean, it's like you're in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of cooking in the element. So
For sure.
we're all like mini vibbers, but nobody's
Even Vibber's a mini Vibber, right?
I'm never gonna say that, bro. Vibber will take you down.
Dude, he's a badass.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
I'm sure this is like the lamest foraging. He would be everything's right here. I don't have to find anything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I saw him last time. He won't mind me saying this, but last time I saw him, he'd packed on a few pounds. He's like, dude, I'm used to being out foraging, and he's running the shit at Merkin now, which is badass. Like, what a cool gig for him.
Oh, this is perfect for him. Between wrestling, food, being up north, like that's he's in his happy spot.
For sure.
I'm so happy for that guy.
Yeah. But he was joking. He's like, I packed on a few pounds. He's like, I'm eating pasta every day and pizza, all this shit from Merkin that's incredible.
Quality control, man. I've put on a few eating French fries every day.
Yeah.
But you just got to know, hey, are they still good?
Yeah.
They're still good.
They're still good.
Tomorrow. How about, they're still good.
Give me some of that ranch.
Yeah.
Give me some of that ranch. Yeah. Dude, I love it. So what are you guys doing? Like, what's on the agenda today?
So we've got actually a pretty rad dish. I call it Midwest Sushi. It's our 3/4 inch baton, which is the big boy that I started Freed Street with. We collaborated, and this girl, Jess, who owns Sea Salt, made me a French butter chive salt. So the fries come out, French butter chive seasoning on it. I made a horseradish cream, and then I called in a favor, and I got 6 A5 New York strips, and I sliced it 2 mil thin, so like paper thin A5, and I drape it over it. So it looks like a bite of nigiri, and then I blowtorch the steak. So it's like steak and potatoes, but horseradish cream, steak, French fry. Like it's simple, but it's bougie, right? Like it's like fancy, simple food.
Yeah. I like that because it's like you come with like you come with a piece of sushi and it's like, oh, that's beautiful. That's tasty, but it's what you expect.
Yep.
From you, I expect some wacky shit.
Yeah. No, this is right up there,
and
right?
You nailed it.
Yeah, it's steak and potato, but it's classy as shit. Let me tell you.
Yeah, dude,
I'm really
love
happy.
it, man.
People seem to like it so far. It's only been an hour, but
dude, I mean, I feel like today already, it's like people hit the ground running.
Yeah, we're in that Sunset Plaza.
Okay.
And I looked up at like 10:03, and I was like, oh shit, we have a line. Like,
all
right, lock it up. No, like, oh, it opens at 10. Like, well, $1. No, like 10:02, start banging out plates. Like, go, go, go. So.
I love it, man. So what's new in Freed Street world? Like, what are you guys working on? What's going on?
So we launched this week with a company called Dot Foods. They're a redistributor. So I will now be nationwide, available to every chef within 3 days in the U.S.
Wow,
which is the craziest thing in the world. So my little Arizona French fry company we're now in Vegas, Chicago, Texas, Utah, California, Wyoming, Montana, Washington, Florida, Charlotte, and it's just
Are you just trying to name all 50 states?
Dude, it feels like it. It feels like it. I sent product to Montreal this year.
Yeah.
And I kind of like had one of those like holy cow moments where I was like, I just sent French fries to Montreal for a poutine bar. I was like, that's like, I did it. Like I made French fries for the people that specialize in French fries so that they can cover it in gravy and cheese curds because like they needed my potatoes. So it's been a crazy year, man. It's a humbling experience.
That's badass, man. I couldn't be more happy for you. You are like the hustler of hustlers, man.
Dude,
like the amount of energy and work that you put into this is all the success is much deserved.
Well, thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As soon as I get that big boat party, I'll call you.
Please.
It's on.
Thank you.
It's definitely happening.
That
one day where you get like little tiny umbrellas. Yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Nice, man. I can't wait. I got you all choked up.
Oh, man, you got me.
So, what's funny? I was just talking to, D'Lo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking.
Thank you for the insurance.
Yeah. Dude, D'Lo's the best.
Gotta have him.
He's the best. Yeah. So I was telling it because obviously he's a really healthy guy, right?
100%.
And I was telling him about the steadfast, milk, and he just kind of shook his head. Classic, he's eating like
he's only
whole
allowed
grain
2
rice
grams.
and
Yeah, he's only allowed 2 grams of carbs or something.
He said he ate like 6,000 calories yesterday.
He
though.
ate a French fry. So yeah, whatever. Today's a cheat day for him, right?
Yeah.
He'll do like 700 squats afterwards. Or
For
something.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, burpees and shit throughout the gardens. But where I grew up in northeastern Ohio. Like I was right on the border of Pennsylvania. So like an hour from us was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right. That is like French fries on chicken salads, French fries on sandwiches.
Yeah,
right.
Pimentis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, like when I moved here, I ordered a chicken salad somewhere and they brought it out and I'm like, where are the French fries?
The top.
And they're
Just
like,
in the top.
what do you mean? I'm like, come with French fries. They're like, no. I'm like, all right, well, give me the.
Yeah,
So-
can I get a side of fries? And I'm going to show you a trick now.
yeah. So do you get a lot of people that do that?
So
Like crazy shit with fries?
So we get a lot of people that'll we give you a blank canvas and you sex it up from there.
Yeah.
And I've got, Armando and Roberto and Nadia, they just opened Main Street Burger.
Yeah.
And they started doing some loaded fries that are fucking delicious.
Oh,
like
nice.
I went there last week and I sent him a picture and it was like my wife and I, and we got 5 bowls, 2 burgers, a salad, a hot dog, the loaded fries, a side of fries, and then it was like 10 minutes later, I was like, everything's gone. And I was like, that was great. Like bacon, cheese sauce, green chili. I was like, just put it all on my fries. Like I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. I like that, right? Because you could very easily be a purist of like, no, my fries are world class. Don't.
No, it's a vessel, bro. Like I am the cleanest vessel, right? Like if you make good aioli, you need a vessel for that aioli.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm all about just putting my product in a bowl with everybody else and make it happy.
Yeah.
It's just as good.
I love it, man. I need to go get some Freed Street fries. So, anything you want to share? Anything coming up? Like anything that's for people to look out for?
Support your local French fry makers.
Yeah.
Chef, if you're looking for French fries, let us know. We'll get you samples. And
how does that work? Yeah. So if somebody's listening, they want to
literally send us a DM, send us an email. We'll send you French fries. It'll be there in 24 hours. And then from there, it'll be there in 3 days if you want us to be on your menu. But it's rad. I mean, having the partnership with the farm has allowed me to really run my mouth. So like we grew 3.5 million pounds of French fries for this season.
Wow.
So like game on. If somebody wants more potatoes, I got more potatoes. You know? And our partnership in Arizona, we'll go into auction in June and we'll harvest out there in Maricopa. We'll go down to Wilcox in July, August, September.
Wait, you're going to be growing potatoes here.
We have a summer program in Arizona, and then our primary fields are in Idaho and in New Mexico.
Wow.
But yeah, now I have the same potato all year round. So it's like,
dude, that's badass.
I can poke the bear. You know, if you're hungry, cool. I get more potatoes like tomorrow. Like they're already out of the ground, ready for me to cut them. So
beautiful, man.
Now it's fun.
Now, as a consumer, like because when I go to places, like some places will put featuring Freed Street fries. As a consumer, if I want to try Freed Street fries,
where do you go?
Where do I go? How do we find them?
So shout out to everybody I'm about to list, but Dom at Hush and Fire at Will, Charles with Aftermath Born and Bred, Rokery Richardson's, Rough Rider, Ingo's Buck and Rider, JW Marriott Valley Ho, Manu Lucia, Camelback Inn.
The list goes on and on.
Dude, I get to make fries for like 200 people.
Yeah.
I'm in talks with Thomas Keller.
Oh.
So like my world doesn't make any fucking sense anymore.
That's why you got that smile on your face all the time.
I can name a dozen restaurants in Chicago, and I get to make fries for Stephanie Izzard's Concepts now, and this is cool, man. Like I make French fries will travel, and people appreciate the quality. So
I dig it, man. Dude, you're the epitome of like focusing on a specific thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because, dude, we got a magazine, we got a book, we got a festival, we got a podcast, we got a newsletter, and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I envy the ability to just, this is what I do.
Yeah, but you're one, the two of us are the same. Like, I'm one potato, 10 shapes. You're one brand, 5 outlets, right? But it's the same message. You're just in digital, you're in print.
Yeah.
Only you were edible.
Yeah. I mean, for the right amount of money.
Few times a year.
Tonight might be the night. Well, Flip, thanks, buddy. I always appreciate you, man, and thank you for being at our festival.
Oh yeah,
and bringing your A game.
Dude,
you and Adam
you and me have been together since day one. I remember bringing you fries at your house during COVID.
Yes,
like I fed your family. Like
I know.
I'm just as proud of your growth as I'm sure you are of my growth. Like
I
neither one of us should be doing what we're doing, but we're lucky enough to do it, and stay humble and do it right. So
I love it, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Woo!
All right, so I'm gonna make sure that I have the bleep switch ready.
I can
for this fucking guy.
I'm good.
You're not, Brett. You are. You're a true professional.
I'm capable of not doing it.
Do you want to not do it?
You can just tell me.
Why don't you get a little closer there, buddy?
Are we Food Network or are we Vice TV?
What do you want to be?
Well, you know what I want to be myself, but
you can't do that.
No, I was going to say no. I'm fine. I'll pretend we're talking to we'll pretend kindergartners could be listening, and they're not my kindergartners.
True. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
We have very little rules at our house.
All right, so we have part of the team, part of the Merkin team here. Brett was just doing a demo. I went and checked out your demo for a little bit. Thanks for calling me out and calling
welcome.
security on me.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Never a dull moment at Devour.
And then we also have Chef Brian.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any
First
friend
timer.
of this guy is a friend of mine. So,
well, it's great. I mean, he came in and took over Merkin a few months ago. Just moved some different people around the company, and he was the guy that took over the big project, and allowed him to get his feet wet and used to a different dynamic for a couple months. But new menu he's got put together that hits the tables here in about a week, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Merkin. I'm excited for the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when the new menu hits the tables, is that like a nerve-wracking situation for you, Brian?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely
Come over this way just a little bit. There you go.
Can you hear me there?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stress going into this next week.
Yeah.
But
Of
looking
anticipation.
forward to, for
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the week after, for sure.
Once it's out and rolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just trying to get in the the swing of things then.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting. I don't know if this is true for you or not, but as a creative, I like to do whatever I want to do, right? I want to just do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anybody's permission to do it.
Sure.
But when I do it, I want you to like it.
Sure.
Right? So is that same for you?
Totally.
When you're putting this menu out?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you're putting your heart and soul on the line, right? And we got a job that that is very forward facing, if you will. Like he's not hidden from anyone. I'm not hidden from anyone. I mean, you just saw me in front of 100 people. If it's not good, their faces are going to tell you it's not good.
For sure.
So
it
before their voices will tell you it's not good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is great.
It's all
They're
right.
like,
Yeah, it was good. It was okay. You want people to be fucking excited.
like, whoa,
Sorry.
shit. Yeah. I knew it. Damn it. You set me up, man.
Gotcha.
So Brian, how did you get involved with this? Like, where are you from? Arizona?
No, I'm actually pretty new to the area.
Okay.
I moved down to Arizona from Wyoming about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And was kind of just hanging out for a while. And once I kind of became familiar with Merkin and everything that they were doing there, it kind of definitely drew me there. It was something that I, as a chef, have dreamt of being a part of.
Okay.
So yeah, that was kind of my main goal as once I got kind of settled here was to get in there.
Nice. Yeah. What was it about it that like really drew you in?
Just the farm to table aspect. There's not a lot of restaurants that are even thinking about trying to do what we're doing. We're making wine. We're growing things in greenhouses. We're growing things in fields. We're raising livestock and ducks, and it's a pretty huge operation, and it's just awesome to kind of be a part of that and to fine tune it, and to be a part of it this early in the life of it, and to see what it can become. You know?
So you're the main guy up on the hill then?
I am.
Yeah. Nice. That's a great place, dude. That is. Well, I've known this guy for years, and when I knew that he was involved with Merkin, I was like, hell yeah, that's bad off. Chef Chris is awesome.
Oh, and
love
Chris,
what he does.
Still part of the family, and kind of got to do what he wanted when we opened up 4-8 Fried Chicken. That was his building that he'd been in for 8 years at that point, where Merkin started, but his heart's in that building, and he's comfortable in that building. He runs the whole show down there. So he's the front of the house guy, he's the back of the house guy, and he's just kind of brought that concept to fruition as well. I mean, it's super difficult to really, I mean, you see it firsthand, but it's super difficult to really walk the actual fine line of being farm to table, of actually sourcing local.
Yeah.
You see, I saw a restaurant the other day and it said like Scratch Kitchen. Like, no, it's not. I don't even have to go in to know that it's not.
Yeah.
But not only do we make everything at Merkin, But one step further, we're growing a lot of it.
Yeah.
What we're not growing is coming from someone very local. He served Copper State beef today from K4 out of Prescott.
Nice.
We use all Hayden Mills for the pasta and all the bread that they make every day. So it's just that, and you and I have talked about it before. It's just that next step further of going out and finding your own ingredients, going out and raising your own ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to my old house, and it's the same. The Merkin farm is the same size, 5 acres. So
okay,
you know, quail for days, ducks for days, chicken for days, and you know, we're able to use all of that stuff at all of the restaurants. But you know, Merkin will do 1,200 covers on a Saturday from 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
Dang.
So it's one of the busiest restaurants I've ever been associated with, especially in a small town. I mean, the big restaurants I was associated with like that were in Chicago, in LA, and Panama. They're just
not Cottonwood,
Arizona.
That's
So
badass,
it's a grand endeavor on everyone's part, but you have to have the right people
for sure
that know how to appreciate and want to work that way in kitchens. A lot of chefs don't want to work that way, and that's okay. And then they still make tasty food, but your heart's not as connected to it.
Yeah. Well, and for us, I mean, you've known from day one, right? We're stories. We're all about the stories. Everything that we have says the stories of air. That's what draws me in, right? Because you are right. Like, farm to table and scratch have become basically marketing terms at this point.
Right. I tell people like Taco Bell's farm to table. That produce came from somewhere. That beef came from somewhere.
For sure.
Now, what's the quality of it? Do you know the person? Are you connected? I mean, you and I have talked about this with fishing. How do I end up in the middle of the ocean every year? Because I want to serve seafood, but I'm not going to blindly serve it. I'm going to get on the damn boat and I'm going to do the thing.
Spear it yourself, man.
Right, I'll get it.
He's out there
It's called a gaff, not a spear. It's a gaff.
See, I don't even know.
Right. Dude. Well, you got to get on the damn boat, bro.
Dude, as soon as I would start loading onto the boat, like it was still tied up and shit, I'm like, no, I'm getting sick at it. But I'm glad that I have friends like you that do that shit.
Bring the fish over to you.
Exactly.
Right.
So, what'd you guys bring today? Like, what's?
Today we did a kind of a savory pizzelle, which is kind of like an Italian cookie.
Okay.
But we did that with some Copper State beef tartare, some cured duck egg yolk, and some microgreens that we grew in the farm, the greenhouse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's classic.
So in other words, you have not been to try what he made today.
No. I went by and
it's pretty good.
Well, here's why though, because I was in the mood
line.
for some. Well, there was a line, and I was in the mood for some savory things, and I saw, and it looked like a little cookie. I'm like,
a lot of people thought it was a dessert.
Yeah. So, damn. Is it still going?
We got an hour.
All right. I'm gonna have to. All right. We'll have
podcast is over.
Enough this guy's shit. So, all right. And so, Brett, your role now with Merkin and it's different because of the years I've known you. I mean, you're a hustler, man, and like it's you've got wild Arizona cuisine. Or you started off with Cartwrights, and then but now
I'm still hustling.
He's still hustling. But once I saw him, I don't know. Last time I saw him, he packed on a few.
Yeah.
So
it's also wintertime.
I said that to somebody earlier too.
It's different, right? I mean, I've been a corporate chef before. I hate that word, but I've been a group chef, right, of different restaurants. But yeah, for the last 12 years, I've had my own restaurants. I've had my own things, and do whatever I wanted whenever I damn well pleased. But no, it was something I wanted. You and I probably talked about this when I was leaving the last restaurant. Was I think chefing is one of my platforms. I talk to a lot of people that aren't in the food industry about wild foods. I talk to a lot of people that aren't in the chef world or restaurant world about food systems and food sovereignty and indigenous food. That I was able to kind of get back out there and not necessarily this guy standing next to me, but be a chef to chefs, where I was a chef to cooks for a long time. That I think I can help chefs be better chefs at this point. We've got 3 restaurants and more to come, and the tasting rooms and the vineyards, and kind of that part of it brought it all really closer for me as well. Where I was sourcing wine before, and I was sourcing produce before, or starting my own farm. But to have that all under one roof, and with a bunch of good people kind of working in the same direction, the same kind of passions to make, a 300-seat restaurant in Cottonwood, Arizona be full 4 times a day on a Saturday in February. It's just it's crazy, but yeah, it's been something different for me. But I mean, that's exactly what I was looking for, was something a little bit different.
Yeah,
I know I can jump behind the stove anytime, and I still got it. So
does he do that sometimes, Brian?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's like, get out of here.
Yeah, I have done it less and less since this man came into my world. So
that's awesome. Man. Well, it's great having people like that you can rely on, like that you can count on them to
because
do what
I
they
have
need to
another
do.
restaurant. I had another restaurant to open. He started, and I was able to, then you are, showing cooks your recipe, showing cooks your new dishes, teaching the chef what the dishes are that I put together for that restaurant, or dishes that Maynard liked that he wanted to get pushed over the finish line, that I'm able to have really good guys to lean on, and other guys that need to lean on me.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig everything that Maynard's doing up there. Are you trying to dodge somebody?
I was eyeballing Luke.
I love what Maynard's doing. I went up to my daughter and I went up to delivering some books, and we saw Chef Ray at Queen Bee.
Yep.
And he was just talking about how like the coffee and like the level of coffee execution there, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like Maynard's like specialty, super strong. It was almost like
the slow drip.
Yeah, but it was very concentrated. It was so good. But Ray was talking about how, as with everything that what I understand about Maynard is he's so involved with everything. Like he wants to understand how the roasting is happening, how the farming is.
Yeah, I mean, you have a ton of people out there that have done well in a different walk of life, and they'll start other businesses.
Yeah,
they're not involved in those businesses.
Yeah.
They just started those businesses.
Yeah,
if people can know when it's wine season, because Tool, Perfect Circle, or Pussifer won't be touring. Why? Because Maynard's out there picking the grapes every single day.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of, people in Arizona, people in California, people in New Mexico that are winemakers. They don't make the wine.
Yeah.
They own the winery.
Yeah.
Maynard makes the wine.
Yeah.
So we get this coffee machine up and going 6 months ago, and he's in there every morning, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not on tour. These are his passions, right?
Yeah.
If we're going to put something out there to the world, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going at it until it's perfect. The restaurants, the wines, the ciders, the meads, the coffee. We'll see what else we can lump on there as time goes. But these things, everyone in this core is driving towards perfection. And that's a lot different than when you're out on your own driving towards perfection. You're out on your own driving towards perfection, and you're carrying a team with you. This is a team, revolving around each other and moving forward in the right direction.
I dig it, man. I dig it. So what's in the forefront for you guys? Like what's coming up? New menu. Brian's new menu. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first hurdle, I guess.
Yeah. Brian's like, I ain't looking anywhere past that, man.
Right. We got March 3rd stuck in our mind pretty hard. We, get done with here. We're obviously out of town. We need to travel again tonight.
Yeah.
And get back to it hard tomorrow, and still try and, make sure no one's brain's fried by the time March 3rd comes around to actually put it on the table. But it's exciting. I mean, he's got some real nice entrees going on. It's been really pasta, pizza, salads for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, the goal was to get some, small shareable plates on there that we can do flights of wines and taste of wines and glass of wines with. So you can really progress through your dinner and that family style aspect that's become a mainstay in America. It's already been a mainstay outside of America, but that's how you should eat, right? Community around a table, sharing, gathering. It's so often we just eat a meal, right? We just eat a meal because we're hungry.
Yeah.
But let's have an experience. That's the difference between them. I mean, you've been to my old restaurants before.
Yep.
I don't care if you just come eat, but come have an experience. That's what we're all about. And I mean, you're sitting at Merkin in the midst of the vineyards, the wine's being made
up on the hill,
right at the right, looking down,
view and
right,
looking down at everybody.
the best view in the Verde Valley, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my restaurant was as far north in the Verde Valley as you could go.
Yeah,
and I thought we had a pretty nice view there.
Yeah,
but I mean, you cannot beat the view on the patio at Merkin.
Oh, it's unreal. It's unreal.
It's the whole valley ahead of you, and those are sites that people come from all over the world to see.
Yep.
So therefore, we want to have a chef, food, and wine that go with that.
Yeah, I dig it, man. We'll keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having
us.
us.
You got it, man.
All right.
Chef Chris, Brian, good luck, man.
you.
March 3rd, new
March
menu
3rd.
comes out.
March 3rd.
All you
March 3rd.
online critics, get up
March
there. All
3rd.
you Yelpers, get up there and rip this shit apart. No, I'm just
Yeah. All you Yelpers, hang a hard left off the highway.
Yelp Elite. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
All right, buddy. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm very excited to have you on.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Absolutely. And who are you and what do you do?
My name is Bahar Anushar. I am a dining and nightlife reporter with the Arizona Republic.
Okay.
And yesterday and today, I was one of the judges at Devour Phoenix.
Okay, nice. How was that?
It was really exciting. It was
Yeah.
intimidating in the beginning.
Okay.
So once I saw my name alongside these James Beard award-winning chefs,
Yeah.
I was a little bit intimidated, and I thought, do I do this? Like, do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
But once we came together in the same room, they made it super comfortable, and they're pretty down to earth, and so it was actually a wonderful learning experience to get it from to get their point of view.
Yeah. I love it. So you probably you were able to level up a little bit. By being in the presence of the best.
It's always, I feel like it's always, when you meet people of this caliber, it's always a learning experience. But in general, just being open to learning, I think that's important, and it's fun. It's just fun to learn new things. So
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, especially about stuff that you already love, right?
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I do love the field for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, as you can tell, I love to eat. Like, it's like people had told me, so we kind of started this. I started with a craft beer podcast in 2016, and then we moved into food in like 2020.
Yeah.
And my friends and family that have known me my whole life are like, why did it take you so long to realize you were meant to talk about food and drinks? Like, I don't know, because I've loved food and drinks from day
See,
one.
now you found your passion.
I know. Yeah. And every day's a learning experience. So, and it's interesting because we'll have our last guest will be Christopher Gross. He's one of those people that when we interviewed him, I'm like, this is a different level of human being.
Yes.
Like in this world, like you can tell he's got that.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
Something special.
And you can see it in you can taste it in his food.
Yeah.
You can just, there's a depth, in my opinion, to his food that like you don't see with everyone here. And I've always said this, like, I'm pretty sure if Michelin would come to Arizona, he would win stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's incredible.
And Janos
Wilder, also
Wow.
a James Beard winner. So
that guy was incredible to have on yesterday too.
He's also brilliant.
Yeah.
So is Lori Hashimoto.
Lori?
They're just they were all incredible to be with. Howard was like a critic before. So I think part of what was incredible was like seeing how they do things also validates what it made me feel comfortable in my own skin, because obviously they are down to earth and make you feel that way, but also hearing them, I'm like, all right, I'm not that far off, so we're good, we're on the right path, we're doing good.
Well, that's probably reassuring for you, like,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, and I think too, when you like the real like upper echelon of people make it more approachable. Like they're so good with it that they want people, they don't want to be this elitist type of, I know more than you.
Right.
It's like maybe those are the people in that mid-level that are trying to prove something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're like, this is who I am.
These guys guide you. And what I also love is people have their standards. Like this is not a group that will lower standards for any reason. So it's as they were judging, they're holding the chefs to a certain standard.
Yeah.
But there's kindness in there.
Yeah.
So that's what I loved about the experience too. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And when we had Howard on yesterday, just getting his perspective on like I feel like critiques and reviews and all the things have just kind of, people tend to, lack of knowledge leads to negativity.
Yes,
you know,
you're right.
Someone like that who knows, and like you that know so much about it, like you're evaluating the situation as it is, right?
Yes.
Like you're not looking for the bad things. I'm like, here's what.
No,
Yeah.
and you're also like, what you have to understand is, it's not, when you're reviewing a restaurant, it doesn't matter whether you like a particular food or not. Like, you don't like lamb. I don't know, whatever. I'm coming up with examples.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't like lamb, but can you tell us how it's cooked? You know, is it cooked properly? Is it tender? Is it, is it gamey? Is it not gamey? Like, how is the sauce? You should be able to do it that way. And also maybe bring a little bit of knowledge for the people. Like, I love bringing a little bit of, okay, this is a little tiny nugget from, say, the culture. This is where it's coming from, or this is how something is made.
Yeah.
So that we don't just go, I like it, I don't like it, it's delicious, it's not. Like, that's just not, that's like, single noted in terms of like reviews. So
For sure.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I can just tell you have a very positive energy about
Thank you.
Yeah. I love that. And that's really, I think, what this Arizona food and beverage community really needs is more just like positivity. And I'm not saying more, because I think that it has a really positive.
Yes.
I think we've got such a young, up and coming scene. And I say this because I've only been involved with it.
I love the word you use. I agree with you.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, my knowledge and experience is this compared to what you have. So I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
Like you reviewing the food, like with those chefs, they're letting you know, hey, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
You just let me know I'm on the right path.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's just such an incredible scene, and the industry itself is just such a heart, like a full of heart, passionate industry.
Yeah.
That's what I really kind of what intrigued me about it was when I started interviewing people for the podcast, it was a lot of stories of like, I did this for 20 years and I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated doing computer programming. I hated doing real estate. Always wanted to be a chef. I always wanted to be a brewer. And so you get these stories of like people like pouring their heart and souls into it.
Yes.
And it's incredible.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I also feel like, I agree with the industry. Like, I love this industry, or the food scene in Arizona, because we are growing, and like, we're open to new flavors, new cultures, and it's just, I love to see that growth, and there's so much more room to grow.
So much.
So it's exciting for me to see, where we're going.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's cool too, just in the time I moved here in 2007 from Ohio, and to see it evolve to, I don't even think evolve is the right term, because it's going back to what it is, right? More indigenous ingredients, more indigenous, like, when people see a palm tree, like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm like, that shouldn't be there, right? that should be a juniper. That should be,
exactly.
something.
Mesquite.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. And so
yes.
I'm loving that there are chefs and there are creators and producers that are embracing really what Arizona is, and that's what Giannis was saying yesterday. He's like, I'm just a part of this progress that's been going on for over 5,000 years.
Yes.
He's like, I'm just a small piece. And,
Yes.
and I like that. So
yeah. That's wonderful.
So tell me a little bit about what you like. What do you do as far as like, how do you source your stories, and like, what do you like? Because you say food and nightlife, right?
Food and nightlife.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, we're, basically for me, it's a mixture of. So like I'm kind of beginning to know the people in the food industry.
Yeah.
So like, I'm interested to see what they are trying, what they like to do, where they like to go when they're not cooking for themselves.
I like that.
And so, some of the sources are from that. So some of the chefs might say, hey, have you tried the food here? And I will go try it. Sometimes it's we hear from the restaurants themselves. It could be a big restaurant with someone who reaches out to me and says, we're opening this restaurant. And it could be a small restaurant, and a small restaurant owner will be like, I just recently discovered a baker, and he is like, I know you write reviews, but like, you want to try my bread? I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to try your bread. It's Instagram, it's, all the different, it all depends, like different sources. So it's interesting. And I just I don't know. I mean, people in the food industry, I feel like cooking is such a generous act.
Yeah.
You know, feeding people is a generous act. I think that's what something like Ruth Reichel may have said that.
Yeah.
Somebody said Julia Child or Ruth Reichel. But it's the ultimate generosity of spirit, because it's kind of like, here, I'm going to put my heart and soul into it, and I'm going to actually nourish you.
Yeah.
And so chefs are I love meeting chefs. They're my people. You
Yeah.
know, food people are my people.
I agree. Right there.
Yes.
I'm with you. Yes. So, well, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I mean, you had a busy couple of days, and we're just wrapping it up. So for you guys to come here at the end of the day after 2 full days, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my pleasure. I mean, I get to talk to awesome people and eat and drink awesome things. So.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
All right, wrapping it up with the legendary, the one and only, Chef Christopher Gross.
Well, pleasure to be here.
I had a whole long drawn out one I was gonna do, and I was gonna just keep going, but I forgot the rest
Go
of
ahead.
it. But
It's good for my ego. Go ahead.
No, Chef, thank you so much for jumping on the mic. I know it's been a busy couple days for you, so for you to wrap it up by jumping on here, thank you.
Well, my pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. So, what do you think, man? It's 2 full days now. You got to
taste everything.
You tasted everything, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. With a lot of great people, the other judges. It was unbelievably fun.
Yeah.
It's so effing beautiful here.
It is.
I mean, it's I forget what a great place this is at the Botanical Garden.
Yeah, it is, right? I really think it's cool the way they have it all set up, where you actually get to stroll through the garden to go to the places.
It's great. I think they should do something this summer, bring some misters, lawn chairs, and have a swim party.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, we can figure something
and make
out.
a huge beer garden everywhere.
Oh, make the pool the beer garden. Ice. I think we're on to something. We might have to iron out some details, but I'm with you. So is this your first year? Have you judged at Devour
No, this
before?
is my first son.
Okay. Do you do this stuff a lot? Like, do you do judging food competitions or anything like that?
No, not really.
No?
I've been on a few wine events where I judge wine or comment on it and stuff, but no, this is the first time. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting hearing everybody else's opinion.
Yeah.
And why this is they think it's the best or whatever. And I guess maybe I'm the kind of the bad one. I go, yeah, it tastes good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you it had the right amount of acid or this or that.
Yeah.
It just was really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to break it down, analyze it. It's good. I'll have another one.
Yeah.
I would go to that restaurant tomorrow.
I like that's a good test right there. Would you have another one? Right? Like that's either yes or no.
Yeah.
So was this a little bit more challenging then? Because did you have to give specific critiques or anything like that or feedback?
I probably was the one that gave the less feedback.
Okay.
I just said, yeah, this is a bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah.
Why? It was good. It
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
What? I don't do that as a chef when I go out to dinner.
Yeah.
This is really great. I want another bite.
Yeah.
I don't think the chef did just the perfect amount of this and that together, and just it's either good or not, or it's just average. Or I'd go have that again. I'm not going to run out and make time for it, but if whatever, I don't know. It's just that's what I do is flavor.
Yeah.
I don't break it down scientifically or like we're making something, we need to boost up this side. If it's not good, we just, when we're experimenting, we just, fix it.
Fix it. Yeah.
Or don't do it or do something else.
Yeah. So to move on a little bit to what you do, right? Because I mean, your restaurant is incredible.
Thank you.
Up on the hill, up at the Wrigley Mansion, Christopher's at the Wrigley Mansion, right? Is the official long name of it, right? And I noticed
Christopher.
Yeah, I noticed you got the rabbit tattoo on your arm.
Oh yeah.
Which is on your plates, which I really think that's
Well,
cool.
I used to do all those drawings all the time for social media for the old restaurant.
Yeah.
So, kind of the angry rabbit was like the chef put lapin on the menu. I'm not happy. And then it said roast rabbit like 1995 or something.
Yeah.
The pig drawings that I would do, put that on the plate, but the original drawing was to promote a dish, and it said the chef invited me for dinner, and next to the pig you saw chef hands coming down with a knife.
Yeah.
And then it said pied de cochon, $20 or something like that. So when the restaurant I was designing it, I had a bunch of aspects in it, art, the best view, centrally located in the city, largest wine list, cooking on fire, mentoring our team. So the cooks just don't know the back of the house, because they'll evolve and they'll get a partner or something, they'll open a restaurant, and only knowing 50% of the job. So we run them through the front of the house. Vice versa with the servers. So, so they learn something. So when they go out, they'll be successful.
Yeah.
So
I like that, right? Because that can be a big hindrance to people open up a new place. They're like, I knew how to make everything from A to Z. I knew how to run the team.
It's a quick learning lesson for those who don't. They partner up with someone that they think knows the front of the house, which is really the most important. Because if you don't get good service and nice ambiance, and really no matter how good your food is, people won't come back.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. So I like that. I like that you take that full 360 approach. Is that what the restaurant is?
A mentor?
Yeah.
So that's ARM. That's a company, not a company, hard to say. It's a foundation. We raise money to support the chef that is the best chef in the United States to go represent our country in Lyon, France.
Okay.
To battle against the world. It's like a culinary Olympics.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's unbelievably difficult. And when that chef is selected, they kind of basically don't work for a year. So they're mentored by this year, which just happened, was finished last month. We placed 7th, France won. But Stephanie De Palmer got mentored for over a year, and her coach, mentor hired from Sweden, who won several years ago.
Okay.
The competition. And so we're the fundraising arm. There's like 60 or so of us culinary advisors. And then the head of the organization is Thomas Keller, Danielle Boulod.
Yeah.
And so we all went over last month to, cheer her on with her team. And it was a blast. But it's a, wonderful organization.
It sounds like, that's like the intense of the intense of, because you're picking a chef and then they got about a year, then you train them.
But they're trained throughout the thing. So I was one of 10, maybe back in the 80s, and I wouldn't have a chance in hell now.
Oh, really?
No. It's gotten so much more complicated. And then when I tried out, I was one of the 10 chefs. After it was all over, we participated. It was in Chicago. And one of the chefs comes up and goes like, "How do you think you did?" And I go, "Just as long as I didn't place last."
Yeah.
He placed last. The person who asked the question, I placed ninth. But it's Google Bocuse d'Or. It's after Chef Paul Bocuse.
Okay.
Probably the most famous chef in the world.
Yeah.
Google it. It's unbelievable.
That
what
sounds
they have
incredible.
to do.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your place. Like what's currently going on at your place? Like
Just working hard.
Yeah.
Our motto is that, it's the hospitality and it's all about the guest.
Yeah.
We're just super busy and we're thankful for it.
Yeah.
So we have, kind of 3 menus. We have a small plate menu that's at the chef bar.
Okay.
So you can see everything going on that
like
we're
it's
doing.
Literally right there.
We could, if you don't like something, you can throw it right at us. You could probably smack us in the face. And it's, it's like ranges from $12 to, you can go all the way up to the caviar, but it's small bites. You can sit there and just drink.
Yeah.
Or drink and eat. Then we have the menu Tuesday, Wednesday. That's kind of our old bistro's greatest hits. It's one price. You have a choice in 5 appetizers, 5 mains, 5 dessert. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the big tasting menu.
Okay.
Virtually, really no choice. But, we do for accommodate people that can't eat something or vegetarian or whatever. It's a beautiful restaurant. Really, really happy the way it turned out. We have the best view, probably centrally located in the city. The roof opens up, just 32 seats. All the windows open up in the front. Beautiful patio with 3 fire pits. Just a beautiful place. I couldn't be more happy. We're 3.5 years old now.
Yeah.
Going strong.
I dig it. Well, we got to come back up. We got to do a podcast. We did one with you and Jamie in Wrigley Mansion, remember? But we got
Jamie's Wine Bar.
And
just let me mention,
Yeah.
she's opening up Jamie's Bottle Shop in Old Town. And the place is beautiful.
Nice.
It's going to be one of the greatest places to go have a glass of wine or buy wine for your house or cellar.
Nice. Where's that going to be?
So the address is, where the restaurant cell is?
No.
Okay.
But I bet you people are listening do.
So I think it's like Maine and kind of like Goldwater.
So heart of the Old Town area.
Heart of the Old Town with all the art walk and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah,
And it's just going to be a
nice.
beautiful shop.
Beautiful. Nice.
Opening, I think, March.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Everybody put that on your calendars. Go check that out. I'd love to do a podcast at Christopher's.
Anytime you want.
Open those windows, all that stuff. And
You probably don't want to do it in July.
No. We'll either do it before or after. So
Absolutely. We look forward to that.
Well, Chef, thank you so much.
Congratulations on your book. It's
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you for being part of it. Like,
it was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
absolutely,
it.
man. We really look up to you. We appreciate all that you bring to Arizona food and beverage, and you're just a cool dude.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chef, thank you so much.
Thank you, and continued success.
Yes.